Did you guys hear that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are shutting down the Voice of America as well as its parent company, the Broadcasting Board of Governors? And this also means that they are getting rid of Radio Free Asia, Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, basically the entire American state media propaganda apparatus, aside from NPR. And they're probably going to get NPR next. But I think NPR is moderately self-funding, so maybe not. I think it's a bit more complicated. But the direct US state propaganda outlets are getting f***ed. These outlets are literally dedicated to making shit up about America's enemies. It's like he doesn't plan to have enemies anymore. I'd be surprised at this point if Donald was not an agent of Vladimir Putin. I don't know how to explain this anymore. It's just so blatant. This is precisely what I would do if I was a sleeper agent in the American government of Vladimir Putin. I would do this. There's no way. If the Russians managed to install a president in the United States, Russia of all places, Russia, not even a global power, a shitty little regional power, managed to take over your country's presidency, that's incredible. Your country's a fucking joke in that case. Wow. So I wanted to provide an example of the sort of article that Radio Free Asia, which is one of these outlets that is soon to be shut down by Trump, engages in, just to provide an amazing example of this whole state apparatus of propaganda that Trump is misguidedly getting rid of. Or misguidedly, I mean, it's probably at the command of Vladimir Putin at this point. How else do you explain this shit? This doesn't make any sense at all. This article that I saw recently is such a perfect example of why these things exist, because you have to understand the whole Voice of America, Radio Free Asia, etc. network are, despite obviously being US state media that just make shit up all the time, they're nonetheless cited and taken seriously by people who need, other journalists as well, who need someone who just makes shit up that they can cite as if it's real. So they create a fake story and then it spreads to all the supposedly legitimate news outlets, and then it just starts getting repeated as if it's truth. So we're going to check out the evidence provided for a recent article, which I believe actually came out after Trump announced the dismantling of this entire network. China forces Uyghurs to show video proof that they are not fasting during Ramadan, by Radio Free Asia. I bet this is based on really, really great evidence. So what's the evidence for this? In a post on Chinese social media platform Douyin, a resident of Xinjiang said he must record a video of himself eating lunch every day until Eid al-Fitr, the holiday marking the end of Ramadan, which this year falls on March 29th. He said he must then send the video to the village cadre responsible for overseeing people living in the community, adding that he's been doing this to stay out of trouble. So, where is this video? Apparently this guy's just openly talking about this on a public Chinese social media. Where is the video? Why are they saying that a resident uploaded a video and then they're not showing us the video? That's kind of weird, isn't it? It's almost like the video doesn't exist and they made it up. Let's continue. What's the next source? They try to say that this has been happening for many years now, yet weirdly, they can't actually provide any evidence for it beyond this person who definitely exists, but who we cannot name or provide any evidence of their existence told us. And then it's police and government officials contacted across Xinjiang by Radio Free Asia confirmed that residents are being required to provide proof that they are eating during Ramadan. A police officer said residents there, including Uyghur police, did not have permission to fast during Ramadan. We implemented a system in which residents need to send us video proof that they are not fasting during Ramadan. I have residents who send their proof to me. Okay, so it's you expect us to believe you just phoned a random police station who said, "Hello, can you please confirm that you are doing the bad thing?" And the police officers in this state that, by the way, is constantly claimed and has mass political repression, where people are not allowed to talk about certain things constantly. He's just yes, we are doing the bad thing. Would you like any more details about the bad thing? Perhaps I could tell you precisely how and why we're doing the bad thing. By the way, I love doing bad, evil things. This is hilarious. And it's never anyone named, never any evidence that these conversations happen. Not even fake uploaded phone calls like Israel did with Hamas in Gaza, for example. Just this. Then we go, a staff member of a government office who declined to be identified so that he could speak freely. How convenient. Said that submitting videos as proof that Uyghurs are not fasting have been implemented countrywide. Amazing. This guy definitely said that. And then we have another staff member said that in addition to the video requirement of proof of eating, authorities are planning a collective feast for the general public to ensure that Uyghurs are eating during the day. To disrupt the activities of people who secretly fast, we are planning to organize collective eating activities. It's They called them and they're like, "Hello, are you genociding the Uyghurs?" And they're like, "Yes, we are genociding them. We are killing them. We are putting them in the ovens." And you're supposed to believe it. You'd think if there was a collective eating activity, a collective feast in the general public, there would be some video of this or something. I mean, if there was a video of it, I guarantee you it would be like a video of them breaking their fast, and it would be presented as if it was them like having their like breaking their fast at night. And it would be presented as if them breaking their fast like during the day, forced eating. There is literally not one single example in here of a name, source, anything remotely verifiable. Even when they say they're citing a video, they don't show you the video. This is the sort of thing that this the Broadcasting Board of Governors, which is what Trump, the umbrella network that Trump is shutting down here, did. And Trump could have used this. He could have, used this network. He could have used it to pursue his own foreign policy line, to say whatever he wants to say, to make up whatever he wants to make up. Instead, he's just dismantling it. Like, the level of extreme idiotic incompetence is almost unbelievable that I think he might actually be a Russian agent. And good, I'm glad that he is. Because, God, he is accidentally, or purposefully, if he is a Russian agent, doing basically everything that you would do, aside from, like, genocide in Gaza. Like, in terms of, like, dismantling core apparatuses of like American propaganda, American infiltration, American interference. He's doing more than what I ever could have imagined any American president, including himself, would do. Like, it's crazy. But don't worry, because there's some people who are here to lament this for us. There's some people here who are ready to tell us how sad this is. You'll never guess who it is. It's our friend Loner Box and whoever the fuck this person he's talking to is. They're here to tell us about how Trump is dismantling funding to democratization efforts and civil society, and how this is horrible and it's going to result in the collapse of these governments, and them apparently saying that like with their full heart without realizing what that says about the American control of these governments and these organizations.
Yeah, the US aid shit is... The canceling US aid is probably the stupidest thing they could have done.
I just want to know, this is someone who has sold themselves as a leftist anti-imperialist for like his entire failed YouTube career. And this is the sort of thing that goes on his stream. Just lamenting the destruction of American empire. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And like buying like what is written on the tin of American interference, of American just straight up like propping up governments that otherwise would not exist and that thus obviously are their puppets, painting that being dismantled as if it's actually a bad thing, and that as if the imperialism was a good thing in the first place. This is amazing.
American foreign policy.
This is bad for
like,
American foreign policy. Just said as if it's just something that we should lament.
First of all, like, I understand that, like, the, like, humanitarian aspects of US aid are super important, but it's, like,
the humanitarian aspects.
The things that US aid did were, like, so truly far-reaching, including, like, democratization efforts abroad. Like, God, I was talking to this one lady, and, like, US aid basically funded, like, entire like NGOs and like civil society efforts in like Eastern Europe and Eurasia, and with that and like without this kind of funding, like the like leaders of like keeping democracy alive in like certain parts of the world are like fucked now. Like,
okay, guys, I hate to have to explain this to you because you're naive little children, but if you have a supposed democracy that only exists because it was set up, bought and paid for by the world's biggest military and economic imperial power, which has proven itself genocidal over and over again. Perhaps you don't actually have a democracy. Perhaps it's not actually a democracy at all. Perhaps it's just a puppet state of them. As you would say in literally any other circumstance of any of your imperial enemies doing the same thing. What a bunch of fucking children, literal naive babies who just read whatever American imperialists say their motivations for doing something are, verbatim, and they're like, yeah, that sounds about right. This is honest. Incredible. Anyway, I just wanted to cover Trump doing more accidental anti-imperialism, which is fucking wild. I mean, he's a Putin agent at this point. I admit it, and I'm for it. Good work, Donald.